A monk once told his students that our words have immense power. He said that our tongue is the world's sharpest knife, even if they do not physically harm others. Depending on when, where, and how much we speak, our words can be a source of strength or a source of weakness. We can achieve success if we speak respectfully and with tact at the appropriate times. However, speaking rudely or at the wrong moment can make our lives painful. All the students in the ashram were paying close attention to the monk. Monk said, "Let me tell you a story of a person who was known as the richest youngster in the village. He lived in an attractive house. He had everything, including an amazing car and luxurious clothing. He also had a large group of friends that loved him. He was popular across the school. One day, his friend list began to shrink and people started disliking him and stopped spending time with him. So, students, can you guess what the reason could be?" All the students were confused and unable to understand or guess. Monk smiled and said, "Life is filled with ups and downs. No matter how rich you are, how skilled you are, whose child you are, or how attractive you are, the only thing that matters is your manners and behavior." The person who has everything in life lacked manners and kindness. He was arrogant, disrespectful to all the people around, even to elders. His words were like a knife that affected everyone around him. His arrogance knows no limits. He thought of himself as superior to everyone. He never missed a chance to make fun of anyone, especially the elderly. On a sunny day, he heard about an ashram. He was curious, so he made the decision to visit the ashram, even though he had doubts. When he arrived at the ashram, he felt something different. It was so peaceful and quiet, with beautiful flowers and birds singing. He met the monk, who was a very wise and calm person. Monk greeted him and inquired about his reason for coming. He didn't really know why he was there, but he decided to stay and learn from Monk. He started attending the ashram's classes and meditation sessions. Monk taught him about the power of silence. He began to understand that silence wasn't just about not talking. It was a way to change himself. At first, it was difficult for him to control his harsh words, but with the help of the monk, he developed the habit of thinking before speaking. He learned to be kinder and more thoughtful. Over time, he became a completely different person. The village noticed a change in him. He was no longer rude and arrogant. Instead, he became known for his wisdom and kindness. One day, he met an old woman. In the past, he would have either ignored her or been mean. But this time, he greeted her with respect and asked how she was. His change brought happiness and surprise to the old woman. Within a few days, the news spread throughout the village. Those who once avoided him are now eager to be around him. They saw him as a wise and understanding person. One evening, a group of villagers gathered around him to hear what he had to say about life and changing for the better. He shared his wisdom with them. He said, "Life is like a journey where we learn about ourselves. We hurt others when we are hurting inside. But when we learn to be silent, we understand ourselves better. Our words can either heal or hurt, so it's important to speak kindly." He continued, "I used to think that silence meant being weak, but I was wrong. Silence is strong. It helps us listen, understand, and connect with others. It lets us choose our words carefully and be kind." The villagers were inspired by his story and wisdom. He had gone from being a mean person to a wise and caring one. His journey showed them that it's never too late to change and become a better person. This young man in a small village transformed himself from being rude and unkind to a wise and compassionate person. His story taught everyone the importance of self-improvement, guidance, and the power of silence. His journey reminded them that change is possible, and we can all become better versions of ourselves. This story teaches us many important lessons. First, it shows that people can change. He was once rude and unkind, but he transformed into a kind and wise person through self-reflection and learning from a monk. Second, it highlights the power of our words. He used to hurt people with his words, but he learned that speaking kindly and being thoughtful can make a big difference. Words can either heal or hurt, so it's essential to choose them wisely. Third, the story emphasizes the importance of silence. He discovered that silence isn't a weakness but a strength. It allows us to listen, understand, and connect with others on a deeper level. Knowing when to speak and when to stay silent is a valuable skill. Fourth, respecting our elders is crucial. In the beginning, he didn't show respect to older people, but he learned to treat them with kindness and respect. Lastly, his journey reminds us that it's never too late to become a better person. We can all change and grow, becoming more compassionate and understanding. So let's practice kindness, listen more, and choose our words carefully to create more harmonious and fulfilling lives. This is a story from a mind that listens. Like, share, and subscribe.